Basics of yoga for beginners. You will learn some basic stuff and techniques of yoga, and if you have never attempted yoga exercises before, then you can start from this. Check your physical health status. Concentrate on just yourself. Make your mind for physical as well as mental exercises. Choosing appropriate yoga class. Commitment is necessary. Try to find pleasure and fun in yoga classes. The beginning. If you are planning to start practice of yoga, then you must know about certain things, and in fact, if you say more precisely, then there are 6 major things which you must know. These things are listed below, and read them carefully for proper implementation of yoga exercises and techniques. Check your physical health status. This is basic thing to know about your physical ability. Though the starting work of yoga will not be very tough and anyone can execute it perfectly, but as the time passes and you advanced in these techniques, these will keep becoming tougher. In order to adopt yoga properly, you should have your physical checkup before starting yoga and make sure that you do not execute any techniques which your body does not allow you to do. In this physical checkup, if you find out that you have certain disorder or weakness in some muscle, then you can change your routine accordingly. Concentrate on just yourself. When you join certain yoga learning classes, then you will come across wide range of people, and some of them will be way ahead of you in practicing yoga, but this should not discourage you from your cause. Instead, take these classes as personal development area where everyone is responsible for him or herself. If someone is ahead of you, then this means he or she has practiced more than you, and not because he or she is better than you. So concentrate on just yourself and make sure that you are on the right path. Make your mind for physical as well as mental exercises. Some people have this misconception that yoga is all about physical exercise, but this is not entirely true, because yoga is about practicing mental exercises as well. You will always have to prepare yourself for that and believe in the fact that yoga is about 50% physical and 50% mental stamina. It is to create a harmony between your mind and your body. This harmony will need some struggle and hard work to be achieved. Choosing appropriate yoga class. There are different techniques available for executing in yoga, and you need to select one which suits your mood. There are techniques like breathing techniques, mental exercises, and even in some cases, laughing is also used to increase strength. You should do your research about all these techniques and select the one which you think is most interesting for you, and you will do it from your heart. Never choose your yoga technique by looking at your friend, because he or she may have different interest, and this can lead to discouragement. Commitment is necessary. Commitment is very necessary in yoga, like any other exercise plan, because if you keep on changing the technique or you keep missing the classes, then it will disturb the whole schedule, and instead of giving you relief and relaxation, this may lead you to unbalanced physical level, which can be dangerous. In order to gather most advantage out of yoga, you need to be very consistent about your approach. Try to find pleasure and fun in yoga classes. This is most crucial thing for making your yoga practice very fruitful and effective, that you need to enjoy your yoga classes instead of taking them as burden and forcing yourself to go down and practice. You should have a fun attitude, and you should wait for these classes to start throughout the day. This approach can change the whole effect of yoga practice, and you can see the results by adopting this approach. In this chapter, I will demonstrate different poses of yoga which you can practice easily. Basics of yoga: the candles pose, mouse pose, dog pose, cobra pose, peacock pose, mountain pose, butterfly pose, birds pose, fish pose, do nothing doll positions. As I mentioned above, that Hatha yoga, which is also called yoga os poses, is very famous in the West, so in this chapter, I will tell you some of the basic and also some advanced poses which are exercised in yoga. Before learning these poses, you should learn some safety tips as well, because if you exercise these poses in wrong way, then your body will get twisted and you may get hurt as a result. You need to be focused while practicing these moves and never think about anything else other than the move. Gentle approach should be applied, because purpose of these moves is to gain comfort. Do not lose concentration and keep practicing. Try to observe the poses from pictures and try to perfect your angels. Basics of yoga. There are 3 things which are basic ingredients for learning yoga, and these 3 things are breathing, movement and focus. If you can master and control these 3 things, then you will be able to learn yoga very fast. Deep breathing is the key, and more deeply you breathe, more oxygen you will provide to your muscles, and they will be able to adopt the technique. Holding to these difficult poses need a strong body and physical health. You need to be very fit to exercise these poses effectively. You need to make your body very flexible to adopt difficult angels easily. Focus will give you enough power to harmonize both breathing and movement, which will create an inner peace for you. The candles pose. In this pose, you have to kneel on your shins and sit on your heels. Pressing your palms and heels together in front of your chest and taking a deep breath is the exact way to do it. You can repeat this pose 3 to 4 times easily. Mouse pose. Kneeling on your shins and sitting back on your heels is start of this pose. Bring chest close to your thighs and let your forehead rest on the floor. Stretch your arms behind you and let them relax. Relax all of your muscles and lay down in same position for some time. This is basically muscle relaxing pose. Dog pose. This is an advanced pose which starts from standing on both your arms and legs. Curl your toes and lift your hips straight towards ceiling. In this position, you should look like in a V opposition. Your head should be hanging down to observe your own legs. You can learn this by watching a dog stretching after a nap. This pose allows you to strengthen all of your bones and muscles equally. Cobra pose. Lay down on your tummy with your legs straight. Place your arm on either sides and try to lift your chest as high as possible without moving your legs from straight position. Keep the shoulders wide and with an open chest, try to lift it even higher by pressing your hands on the floor. Your head should be straight with the shoulders, and this pose can help you to relax your chest muscles as well as shoulders. Peacock pose. Sit up tall by widening your legs as wide as possible. Placing hands in front of you and pressing them to widen your shoulders will get you in this pose. This pose is little difficult to adopt, but try and hold it for 5 deep breaths. Mountain pose. Stand straight up with your feet very close to each other. Bend your neck and look straight up in the ceiling. Let your arms relax on either sides and try to lift your chest. In this position, your head, shoulders and hips should be aligned. This pose is easier and you can hold this pose for 5 to 10 deep breaths. Butterfly pose. Sit by keeping the soles of your feet together. Rest your hands on your shoulders and lift and spread elbows wide. Flap your arms and legs gently like butterfly. You can repeat this process 15 to 20 times easily. Bird's pose. In standing position, get your arms behind you and try to lift yourself on toe end of your feet. Be careful because most of the people fall while attempting this posture, and you should rise up as much as you can, and as soon as you start to lose balance, stop in that position and hold that position for 3 to 5 deep breaths. Fish pose. Lie down on the floor with your legs straight. Place your elbows on either sides and lift your chest with help of elbows as high as you can. Head should be very still and should rest on the floor. This is also a difficult pose and you should hold it for not more than 3 deep breaths. Do nothing dull. Lie on your back in normal position and your arms open and palms facing skies. This is a total relaxing position and normally it is practiced at the end of all poses. Just close your eyes in this pose and try to relax. Think of yourself as a doll which has nothing to move. Stay in this pose for 5 to 8 minutes in the end of your yoga session.